Greetings, Grace Covenant, and welcome to your Friday devotion, or whatever time it is you find this. I pray that it will speak to you. I started this morning with a very simple melody, familiar to most of us at this point, probably the most familiar melody to come out of the Shaker tradition. For those of you who don't know, I actually spent almost 20 years of my career living in central Kentucky, and not far down the road from Shaker Village, where I visited frequently and grew to have an appreciation for their way of life, for their reverence for God and each other, for their progressive thinking. They actually believed in the equality of the sexes, even though men and women lived separately. Their unique style of worship, so many things. But one of the things about the Shakers that really impacted me was their reverence for all of life. Their hymns, much like this one, grew out of them just singing in the fields. Songs would come to them and then they would write them down. Shakers believed that every single thing in life was an occasion of worship, a moment of awe, something to be respected and treasured. And I wonder for us if we've lost that in the mundane things of life. And I think wonder is so important in all of life. The Jewish theologian Abraham Joshua Heschel actually says this: as civilizations advance, the sense of wonder declines. Such decline is an alarming symptom of our state of mind. Humankind will not perish for want of information, but only for want of appreciation. The beginning of our happiness lies in the understanding that life without wonder is not worth living. What we lack is not a will to believe, but a will to wonder. I think it can be easy in this pandemic time when we are stuck at home, limited to the repetitious parts of life, even as we try to engage through the internet and through actualizing ourselves to be engaged with things going on in politics, with our ongoing work with conquering white supremacy. Sometimes we feel like there's very little we can do and that we're not doing enough. And some of us can do more than others, and we should be okay about that. And in all of this, I think that it's important to remember that everything we do is an act of wonder, an act of worship. It's a spiritual moment. The Shakers found it in hoeing the ground and harvesting, in knitting blankets for newborns, in building barns for one another. The Apostle Paul says in Colossians, words that are familiar: let the word of Christ dwell in you richly. Teach and admonish one another in all wisdom. And with gratitude in your hearts, sing psalms and hymns and spiritual songs to God. And whatever you do, in word or deed, listen to that part again. Whatever you do, in word or deed, do everything in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God through him. It's in the simple things, Grace Covenant, in the preparing of the meal, in folding a load of laundry, in reaching out to your neighbor. God is there. There is wonder and awe in our ability to engage in every aspect of life. So don't let the mundane things overwhelm you, look at them as a moment of praise. Maybe that's why the Shakers sang when they were doing simple things. Maybe that's how those songs came to them in those moments. Let's be reminded that God is present in everything we do, and there is space for awe and wonder and amazement. And we actually need that to strengthen us to continue to do the work that God has called us to do. Continue to stay safe. Stay home if you can. We are here for you. Know that we love you. Godspeed.